September is Suicide Awareness Month, and all month long, we're going to bring you stories of different people from all walks of life struggling with that dark point in their life, something that we're seeing all too much of in the last year. And this week, 3 local veterans share their story in an effort to do something about the rising suicide rate among veterans. This is part 1 of what we're calling No Man Left Behind.
In 2015, I tried to commit suicide. I tried to take my own life. I took a bunch of pills and tried to drive off a cliff.
Babe Kwasniak is a civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army, the youngest person to ever be inducted into the Ohio Veterans Hall of Fame, a husband.
My name's Pat McGinty. I was a West Point graduate as well as Babe, and I graduated in 2003.
Pat McGinty served in the 121 Airborne Division in Iraq in 2005 and 2006. He is also a husband and a father.
I'm Mike Izzo. I'm also a West Point grad, former infantry officer, served in the 101st Airborne Division, was in Iraq from 2005 to 2006.
Mike Izzo served our country as well. He's in grad school, somebody's son. These 3 veterans have been out of active duty for years, but find themselves fighting a different battle, the rising issue of suicide, depression, and PTSD in our veterans and active duty soldiers.
By 2023, we will have more deaths by suicide than we will post 9/11 combat.
Babe is referring to a report out just this summer that estimates that since 9/11, we've lost more active duty personnel and veterans to suicide than those actually killed in combat.
And honestly, when I came home and got out of the Army, I sort of felt lost.
Anxiety, depression, and an overall sense of needing a purpose is what these men say drives these spiking deaths.
What Mike and I both realized is that we've been friends for 20 years and we never talk about any of this.
Mike says the thought of suicide never crossed his mind, but after coming home from war, he gets it.
And then I remember hitting a point in my life where I was like, it was a very low point for me. And I remember thinking like, okay, I understand why there's an appeal to some people for this.
The number one thing you learn while serving your country is the no man left behind mentality.
Like, this was our family. I mean, we're not like a family. This is our family.
But once you come home, that mentality can lead to deep retreatment in oneself.
People in the military don't want to be thought of as a burden, and that carries through after you get out of the military. And so I think that's a barrier for a lot of veterans to reach out.
A struggle that has done damage similar to actual battlefield wounds. But it's also taught these veterans there is more to life.
The reality is what you went through can literally save somebody's life. So now you're sitting on a lottery ticket and just cash it in.
And the timeliness of all of this, it's unbelievable. Now, Babe serves on the nonprofit Neopat, working to care for veterans' emotions. And Mike and Pat have started a podcast to allow veterans to share their stories anonymously.